The Master Tavern Keeper's History of the Old World. And so, it was dawn when the dwarf warballoon found the orc ship upon which the Ironbreaker, Drogor nor Grimling's brother, was being held. It was not alone, though. Not alone at all. In the skies above the Black Gulf, in the year 1476 of the Imperial calendar.
Avast ye all! Looks like we found our prey. Apprentice Cargrim, you've got the spyglass. What can you see? Is it the blue face Urks?
Aye, Master Engineer. Looks like a squadron of 3 boats. 2 big, 1 smaller. By the look of them, I'd say these are what the Urks call driller killers. Aye, I can easily make out the large drill at the front of each. The lead boat, the largest of them, is way out ahead and appears to have come to a stop, almost like it's waiting for the others.
Good work, apprentice. Ha! If they're driller killers, let's count our blessings. Those boats are very unreliable. They'll not be escaping us. Anthrager! Take the compass of finding off its pedestal and tell me which boat is holding your brother.
The needle is pointing towards the big boat at the fore.
Avast! Grimnir is with us this day. Cargrim, look again. What can you see on the deck of that boat? Can you see the no Grimling?
I can see only Urks, Master Engineer. 7 of them, I'd say.
No time for glibness, apprentice. Keep looking, the young scalawag.
Aye, Master Engineer. Well, they're wandering about. Oh, wait. I can see a cage. Perched up at the aft of the ship. It's. Aye. There's a Dowie inside. And he's the very image of the Ironbreaker here.
Give me that spyglass, apprentice. That's him. That's Drogar.
What in Grugni's name was that?
Master Engineer, it's off port side. Looks like the Urks have got a Wyvern protecting them, and he seems to have spotted us.
Everyone, ready your weapons. The fighting has begun.
Och, I'm sorry to interrupt you at this exciting point, Septimus. But what was the creature that was protecting the orc boats again? Oh, but it was a Wyvern, Master Alchemist. Surely you know what one of those is. A Wyvern? Nope, I'm not familiar with that particular... I think Heinrich meant to say Wyvern, Sedrik. Oh, yeah, that is what I said. Yes, indeed. And as I'm sure you're about to say, Heinrich, well, these are very common beasts. You find them across the mountainous regions of the old world and beyond, Sedrik. Surely, there must be some in your beast peaks in Albion, I'd wager. I'm sure there are. I think you're misunderstanding me. It's probably not the beast that I don't know. It's the word that I don't know. Why don't you tell me, what do these wyverns actually look like? That might give me a hint. I see. Well, in that case, I think I can help you out. Wyverns. Wyverns are large, scaly beasts with vast, broad wings, serpentine bodies, and terrible, snapping, crushing jaws. Their hides are thick, and their spines and backs festooned with bony scales. They're tough nuts to crack, to be sure, and whilst you're trying to penetrate their well-armoured bodies, you'll need to watch your back, so that you don't find yourself on the pointy end of their caustic, black venom-leaking tails. Ok, but they're not dragons, are they? Indeed. At first glance you might mistake one for a dragon, but the similarities are superficial, and the differences are an abyssal gulf. I just remembered that one of the interns, Vunibald Valdemar, I think it was, from my days as a student in the University of Nuln, gave us a presentation on them once. The University of Nuln in the year 1535 of the Imperial calendar.
I tell you all, the comparison with dragons is a highly misleading one. Wyverns are clearly a different order of beast entirely, being, as it were, four-limbed rather than six-limbed. Furthermore, wyverns have none of the redeeming qualities of dragons. They swap pride for arrogance, and nobility for cruelty. There is probably no creature quite so vicious as a wyvern, which is, of course, why they ally themselves to orcs so frequently.
But, all that said, the current thinking amongst the scholars of the zoological community is that wyverns are actually a distant offshoot of the draconic race, so not quite as disparate as the dragon lovers would like us to believe. However, Voldemar also told us the following.
For their part, dragons look down on wyverns as the lesser creatures they truly are, and embrace the idea that their races might share some thread of kinship with all the enthusiasm of an elf prince, embracing a particularly drunken and vomit-stained dwarf.
But it is not just in temperament and mental faculties that dragons and wyverns differ. Physically too, they are different. The most obvious of these, as was mentioned, being the wyvern's lack of forelimbs, but also their skull shape and their poor eyesight. I think I might know the creature that you're talking about now, but please go on so I can confirm my suspicions. Can you tell me, how do these creatures act? Well, they behave slovenly, certainly far more than any self-respecting dragon would. For a start, like the razorbills of the Black Gulf we recently discussed, they'll eat anything, and are as happy to feed on the rotting, decaying carcass of some felled creature as they are on each other. Oh, so they are also cannibals? I did not know that. Aye. However, such things only occur when food is scarce. More commonly, they feed on domesticated livestock and have a particular fondness for sheep. This has turned them into terrorizers of the more rural regions of the Empire, and is the source of the enmity that most citizens of Sigmar's realm feel towards the beasts. Oh, yeah, I have heard numerous tales of the devastations that their attacks have wreaked upon many a farmer's livelihood. Likening someone to a wyvern is quite the insult back in the Empire, Master Alchemist. I can well believe it. Indeed. They are a menace, far from fair beasts in every aspect, be that demeanour, behaviour, or bodily odour. Thankfully, though, they tend to dwell in the dark caves of the highest peaks of the world, with their numbers concentrated in the World's Edge Mountains. However, they can also be found atop the Mountains of Morn in the east, and the peaks of Nagaroth. There is but one race that has a use for them. It wouldn't be the greenskins, would it? Aye, for in spirit, the two share much in common. For the orc, wyverns are harbingers of rapine and plunder, heralds of death and slaughter, and, to be honest, the greenskins are probably not incorrect in seeing them as such. Indeed, often wyverns are drawn to the frenzied, aggressive, swirling energies given off by an amassed green horde on the cusp of battle, eager to join in the carnage, bloodshed, and eat their fill of bloody meat. These feral wyverns cannot be controlled in the maelstrom of war, but the orcs have become deft at directing the destructive energies of the Wyvern towards their enemies, before then joining their tenuous allies in the violent crucible of combat themselves. However, although an adult Wyvern is an untamable thing that not even a greenskin would be foolish enough to try and yoke into servitude, they are actually found as the mounts of certain powerful orc warlords and shamans. But, as you might imagine, the road that must be travelled to become a Wyvern rider is a risky, nay oft deadly, path. It begins in darkness. Specialised gangs of night goblins under Night's cloak carry out dangerous moonlit raids on the lofty nests of Wyverns. From these, they steal the creature's eggs to sell to the most powerful members of the orc race. And here is where the risk is worth the reward, for truly it is a steep price that such a prize commands. Once acquired, the rearing of a wyvern from hatchling to adulthood is a dangerous thing. From the moment they let out their first squeal, they must be fed fresh flesh with ever-increasing regularity and with ever-increasing quantities. If the goblins that the wyvern's owner has tasked with raising the beast are unable to feed them enough, then they'll more than likely find themselves thrown into the feeding pit to make up for the deficit. Only when a wyvern's belly is full will its owner attempt the difficult task of training it. In this way, when it is raised to adulthood, the wyvern will have formed an unnatural bond with their cruel masters, becoming loyal, if yet still unpredictable, beasts of war. Indeed, I remember Drogar telling me something that he'd overheard, that the owner of the wyvern in Drogor's tale had once said. Out in the Black Gulf, in the year 1476 of the Imperial calendar.
Finally, Ragak. Looks like he's fallen asleep. I thought we were gonna run out of gobos to feed him before he dropped off. Ah, look at him. Wrapped around that rock. You could almost forget what a vicious git he is.
What do you mean, Grod? I wouldn't mind getting myself one of them wyverns like yours.
They're more trouble than they're worth. Even if you raised it yourself, never turn your back on a wyvern. It'll bite off a bit as soon as look at you. And it'll be a bit you're gonna miss.
Oh, I see. Speaking of missing bits, why do they call you Grod the One-Legged?
Bah, Mork's teeth. It's true what they say about you. You're as dim as the murky depths of the sea.
Och, I think I got it now. This wyvern thing must be what we call a lindworm. A lindworm. I know that word. It's what the Norscan whalers I used to sail with would call a wyvern. How come that's what you use in Albion, though? Och, well, my old mentor, the Venerable Bede, told me that there weren't any lindworms in Albion until the invasions by the Norscans during the predations of the forces of Be'lakor in the era following the Great Catastrophe. The beasts seemingly followed the fell armadas of the ruinous powers over the sea. So, as this was our first exposure to these wyverns of yours, my ancestors simply borrowed the Norse word for the creatures, as we didn't have one of our own. Ah, I see. Fascinating. Anyway, back to our tale, eh? It was the orc, Grod the One-Legged, riding his own wyvern, or a lindworm if you prefer, that flew to intercept the war balloon of Damin Cragbrow.